From the deep, dark reaches of Star Trek Online comes Nikodas, Tabitha, and Greebog with another episode of Fleet Action Report.
Hello, and welcome to Fleet Action Report, the show where we don't just play the game, but we teach you how to play the game.
I'm Tabitha. We have with us Nikodas and eternally Greebog.
This is episode 154, set Phase-oars to fun.
And apparently you're the eternal Greebog now.
Yes, eternal. You know, always here.
All right. Tabby, how's your week been?
My week has been, it's actually been pretty mild. I've been playing quite a bit more STO than normal, which is a very pleasant surprise. I've got a Terran Lexington, courtesy of Greebog. Thank you so much. And I've been doing a lot of digital art with it. I've actually been doing a image series because it's the fleet, the flagship event. I've been doing a series of images that are based on the flagship. So I've already done the Enterprise F, based on the new Audi skin that we've gotten, and I've done the Scimitar, and I've done the Klingon, the Kalos, the Bordescu, or the Borderless, or whatever it's called. So I really just need to do the Odo, the Odo minion thing.
Odo minion. That's good. That's really
but
good.
But then I'll have the full set of flagship images.
Cool. I think that's what the Odo ship is. Now I'm thinking. Oh, hey, here.
It's the big one.
Yeah. Isn't it like the Vanguard carrier, or?
No, it's not the carrier, the other one. I'm looking. Hang on.
Because we're both Dreadnought Cruiser?
The Jem'Hadar Vanguard Dreadnought Cruiser is their command ship. This one.
Yeah, so if one of y'all has it, and you can get me a demo record of it, I would be most grateful.
I do. It's not currently set up, but I'll get with you at some time. Maybe we can run something together.
Well,
awesome.
There's also, you could do this demo record and get the text file to Tabby, which is what I've been doing. Whenever she's like, hey, I need this ship, I go in, grab a demo record, and then put the text file someplace Tabby can get a hold of it. And yeah.
I really don't have a problem doing that. My only thing is, if she goes in and runs something with me, then she has the capability of finding like an image or view of the ship that works for her. But
no, like if you send me the demo, if you just do the demo record file and send me the demo file, I can do all the angles and everything myself, like as if I had taken the file myself.
I gotcha. Okay, cool.
So yeah,
I'll work on that.
Yeah, so yeah, if you just do stock, like a stock skin and everything to get as close to flagship official.
Yeah, not a problem. I will take
sweet. Care of that. Yeah, just get the demo file, DM it to me, and I will be able to get a sweet image from it.
And for those that don't know, Nikodas is at work, so there may be some background noise off and on.
I'm really trying to keep the mic away from like the fans that are blowing and stuff, but yeah, it could be. And if you do hear tones drop, I work for an ambulance service, 24-hour shifts, and I'm second up right now. So tones would have to drop twice for me to go out, but it could, in theory, happen.
And why don't you go ahead and go into your week now that we got you talking?
So I am currently parked above Earth. In my Lexington, my Odyssey. And the reason I did so is right in this area somewhere is Germany, and my oldest is still in Germany. She comes home Sunday. And we have used the opportunity to do a lot of work around the house. We have installed 2 ceiling fans, a new cabinet and mirror, and bunches of other little things that needed to get done. So I've been very busy with that stuff. As far as gaming goes, I have been playing a lot of Super Mario Party with my youngest. She's obsessed. And I've been doing a lot of Diablo 4, a lot of Diablo 4. I'm almost max level, almost. And I realize there are people that have been max level for like weeks at this point. I'm not that dedicated, but I'm almost max level, almost there.
You're almost that dedicated?
Yeah, I guess. I'm like, max level is 50, and then you go into like the extra levels.
The Paragon levels?
That's it, Paragon, for another 50. So technically I've got to get through all the Paragons still, but I'm like level 47, so I'm almost level 50.
What, they don't have like infinite Paragon levels like they did in Diablo 4?
They don't. Diablo 3. This is Diablo 4.
Or okay, yeah, Diablo.
It is not infinite. Now I don't know exactly how it works because I'm not there yet. I got 3 more levels to go. But everything I've read online says like level 100, so that's level 50, and then 50 Paragon levels is the max. I could be completely wrong about that, but that's just going off what I've been reading online. So yeah, that leaves Greebog. Greebog, how's your week been?
My week has been keeping me busy with stuff and things. So yeah, WoW stuff still going. My paladin and my DK both got some pants finally. I essentially had LFR gear level pants on, and we had progressed my raid team into heroic. So my luck has been crap for 2 tunes on pants. But fortunately, some people had some pity on me and helped me get pants. But yeah. Outside of that, well, I guess here to get with my heroic raid team, we have killed all the bosses except for the final boss in the current raid on heroic mode, and that'll be where I'll leave it there because not a WoW podcast. I've been doing a fair amount of STO, looking at builds, looking at ships, trying to decide who gets what, if I want to keep Simon as my main, or if I want to do something different. Working on some of my KDF recruit on my free account. Yeah, let's see. What else have I been doing? Oh yes, I've been playing with Foundry and my Raspberry Pi. Foundry got an update, and then that means all the add-ons are being slowly updated because third-party people don't move as they don't typically. It's not their job to update things immediately, and yeah. So, and then I also updated a bunch of stuff with the show. For those that might notice, on the overlay now, there is a icon on the lower left of our screen that says Ko-fi, and it has a link. We are dropping our affiliate because Twitch keeps changing things, and I can't guarantee that I'm going to be happy with all their changes they keep making consistently. There was one thing they had put in. I don't know if it's still in because they walked back some of the questionable stuff, but I just am tired of having to deal with their chaos to figure out whether I'm going to agree with again things. But they had at one point said that essentially starting July 1st, if I were to drop my affiliate status, or if they were to drop my affiliate status, I owe them $25. And I'm not a big fan of owing someone money for something that they could just willy-nilly decide that, hey, we're going to cut your affiliate status. Yeah.
And granted, they walked that back, but Twitch is starting to be very twitchy on a lot of things, and it's not something that we feel comfortable with. So
yeah.
And if you want to support us, follow the link, and you can support us that way.
Yes. And also the benefit with Ko-fi is subscribers on Twitch, they take 50% of all the money. So if you are subscribing at $5, we only see $250 of it, which is why you will notice on the Ko-fi link, I have a subscription set up that says it's the Far Twitch equivalent subscription, and it will get you, it's only at the $2.50 a month thing, because yeah, that is, I'm like going, hey, if we only get $250, then I'm only going to expect you to pay $250, because Ko-fi has a lot better percentages for us. They only take a 5% cut. Outside of that, yeah, that's my life. That's been what's been going on.
All right, so moving right along, this week in STO, and it's been busy. We had our 10 Forward bi-weekly, so they announced today a bonus marks weekend. It runs from today until the 26th. You get 1.5 times the marks. Also, the Timeline Needs You event is still going on. It started June 8th, runs to June 29th. This is what allows you to create temporal agent recruits. And once you have the temporal device, there is no time limit on completing the requirements. You just have to get the device before the 29th. These would be on TOS era characters only. So if you haven't made one before, jump in there, pump that out, you'll be good to go. Many of the unlocks that you get, the goals that you complete, give you account-wide unlocks. Like fleet marks, etc. It's good stuff. They also supposedly, I shouldn't say supposedly, they say they updated the goals. I didn't notice any major changes on my previous temporal recruits.
Allegedly.
But they updated the goals, and it is retroactive to any previous made temporal recruits. They may have like updated them previously, and that's why I didn't notice any changes this time, because they've done it already. I don't know. That's just what it says.
I mean, they wouldn't just copy and paste an old notification and send it back out,
never.
would they?
Never.
Tabby, I believe you have the next announcement there.
Flagship celebration event from June 8th to June 29th, part of the year-long event campaign. The reward for this is Prime Beverly Crusher holographic bridge officer and an upgrade to your fleet support. A passive device that, when activating fleet support ability, has your faction's flagship come to your aid. 14 days of progress from the following TFOs: Borg Disconnected, Jupiter, Eratus, Swarm, and Synthwave.
Anyone claim Beverly already besides me?
I'll get her tomorrow. I missed one day early on, so I will get her tomorrow morning.
One of her traits has me very intrigued for a science officer. It's a lot's happened in the last 20 years. And essentially, reduces recharge time of bridge officers by 1% each second after activating a beam or torpedo firing mode. But
I thought that looked interesting as well.
All right, so
you're in zone with me now. You see all the Odysseys. Like, this is crazy.
I mean, everyone loves an Odyssey.
Oops, all oddies.
That is a lot of Odysseys. Anyway.
All right, lifetime sub sale. This is going on still. Unfortunately, you've already missed the 50% off part, but you can still get 33% off from now until July 20th, 12 p.m. Pacific, which for PC means instead of $300, well, $299.99, it is $199.99. So, yeah. Steel Series giveaway. This requires you to have the Steel Series app to get the code, and then inside the game you go to the promotions. Once you get you claim it there. This gives you the console universal, which is plasma wave, and here's what it'll look like in the promotions tab. It has no cool armament pack, and on top of the console you also get the elite services pack. There is one other giveaway. I noticed the AMD is doing the same pack as the, who was the other one? It's the same pack that came with that they just give away, the Tholian Incursion pack. From my understanding, if you claimed it at one, like if you claim it on AMD, you can't claim it on. I think it wasn't Nvidia, was it?
I don't remember. I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Apparently, it sounds like you can only can't claim the Tholian Incursion Pack once, whether you claim it through the AMD system or through the other one. So if you already have it, unfortunately, you've got it. Well, maybe not unfortunately. You can't do much more than get it.
You can't double dip, unfortunately.
Yes, yes. Normally they like to give away things. So this company gets Tholian Incursion Pack. This one will, let's say, get the Tholian Smack 'em in the Butt Pack, or whatever they name it. You know, but they didn't do that this time.
The Tholian Smack 'em in the Butt Pack. I really want to get that one.
I just realized all of these Odysseys out here are not player ships.
People are doing things to trigger. So, okay, if you have certain traits, you can, no matter what, do your fleet support. And a lot of people are going, enabling that trait. So then they can just constantly keep calling in their flagship, which is an oddity for a lot of people. The other day, I had, there were a bunch of the scimitars sitting out there. And I'm like, how are they doing that? Oh, right. That one trait takes away the requirement of being below 50% health.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so at the 10 Forward bi-weekly, they announced a new lockbox ship, the Theseus Miracle Worker Destroyer. This is from the DWI Comics. It's 5/2 weapons plus an experimental, 3 device slots. It's got 1 universal slot for the console, 4 engineering, 2 science, and 5 tactical. The trait gives you, it's called Ship of Theseus. It gives you a stacking buff up to 20 times until you change map. The buff varies based on the Boff career power that activates the ability. It's really complicated. It's really weird. You'll have to look it up to get all the details. It would take me forever to try and break this down to you guys. It comes with a universal console, the Brancher Crystal Fragments. The passive is a 20% beam weapon damage boost and a plus 5.3 weapon power setting. The active clicky creates Brancher Fragments, which are crystalline fragments that deal kinetic damage. They kind of fly off like torpedoes. And then when it hits something, it breaks into yet 3 smaller ones, and so on and so forth. The smallest ones will head back to you and give you more weapon damage. Like they fly back to you and will give you a buff that's more weapon damage and reduce the cooldown of these fragments. So it's kind of self-perpetuating. It also comes with a new experimental weapon, the Solar Voltaic Array, which is fire damage. And there's 10% chance on firing to add a 200% fire cycling haste, 2% crit chance, 20% crit severity. Feeding is a Commander Miracle Worker Tactical, a Lieutenant Commander Temporal Engineering, Lieutenant Commander Science, Lieutenant Universal, and Ensign Engineering. So lots of seating there to mess with and do whatever you want.
One correction. It's from IDW Comics, not DWI Comics. DWI Comics is way different. They're a little bit more sloppy in their drawing.
That wasn't in the notes. I apologize. I was trying to go off memory, and obviously I misquoted. So I apologize.
It's fine.
IDW, the Star Trek, the ongoing Star Trek comics that feature Ben Sisko. Who's taking the Hesperian? Actually, you know what? I'll do the Hesperian.
All right, good.
So
I know you're super excited about it.
I am, but you can do it if you want.
All right, summer event ship was announced. The Hesperian Intel Battle Cruiser. It's a battle cruiser, which makes it a 5/3 for the weapon slot, 5/4 3 aft. It has 3 device slots. Consoles are 5 engineering, 2 science, and 4 tactical. The trait is 5 magics. When dealing damage, they did kind of the flowery Renaissance fair type
seeing it on like when they did it live, it was hilarious.
You should, I would recommend going and watching it. They had a good old time. Yeah. So when it deals damage with any of the 5 magics, which would be fire, cold, electrical, radiation, or psionic, it applies a buff for 15 seconds.
Psionic? Are they introducing a new new damage type?
Yes, they hinted heavily to keep your eyes open that it was coming.
Yeah,
Yup.
whatever that means, we'll find out. And the buff is plus 5 current engine power per second, and plus 27.07 bonus damage to the 5 magics and disruptor. Special weapon with the ship, they are calling them the Ray of Disintegration. They are 250-degree target arc, disruptor damage, and the ones that come with the ship were said to be upgradable. So it's not like you have to do something special to get.
Yeah, they looked like the ones on the ship looked white, but they said they were upgradable. So we'll see.
Yeah. I would first drop them into the upgrade system and see if it takes off the infinity and makes it a mark something or other. That would be a good sign that you could then upgrade them before you burn other upgrades. Okay, so the console that comes with the ship, which looked amazing, it's a universal console, Dragon's Blood Flame Reactor. It has a passive of plus 20% bonus disruptor, so yay, more if you're disruptor type ship flying. Yay. I mean, essentially, okay, actually, it's basically plus 20% disruptor and the 5 magics, because fire, cold, electrical, radiation, and psionic is also getting a bonus to that bonus. And then you get plus 10 current and 5 max engine power. I believe they said there was a cap to it once you hit like 250. It caps at, yeah. But, and then the active clicky is a conical fire damage up to 5 foes in a 50-degree arc, and it only goes 5 kilometers out. Didn't say that in the mouse, like when they showed the information, but they did say that in the stream. And it recharges faster if engine power is above 25. And the seating on the ship, well, I guess here, for those that want to know what the console looks like when it goes off, you're breathing fire. You're a fire-breathing ship. Yeah.
Actually looked really cool.
Okay, so the seating is Commander Engineering, Lieutenant Commander Intel Universal, Lieutenant Commander Tactical, Lieutenant Pilot Science, and Ensign Science. There was a question if it should be full seating or not. So instead of maybe having Lieutenant Commander Intel, having a Commander Intel. So the dev said, I'll have to look into that. He didn't say no. He didn't say, so that might change. So there might be some changes coming to the ship. There was a bug that was shown off on the stream. So the ship can cloak, or I mean, it puts on a cloak of invisibility, and it apparently can use the console, its fire breath, while cloaked right now.
Yeah, and they said it was not supposed to.
And yeah, he was like, "Oh no, that's got to be fixed. That I am not letting you keep that." And Kale was like, "Oh, come on." When the whole, like, everyone in stream was like, wanting to keep it, and Kale, even Ambassador Kale, was like, "This is too fun." I mean, so there's that. Don't expect us to be able to cloak and breathe fire.
Aww.
And the last part, Abby, you want to take that?
Summer event, June 28th to July 28th. We've got a new ground items. The Elysian set, Blade Starfall, or Starfall Blade, however you want to say it. It's a sword with Execute. Kit module, Nev's Icy Talons. So this is definitely coming off of that Strange New Worlds episode. Yep. So yeah, Blade, Starfall, sword with Execute. Nev's Icy Talons launches icicle at foe and create cone of cold behind target. Ring of Reflection, Shield reflects damage back at enemy, and set bonus, the two-piece blade and book on melee combo finisher plus kit performance, and three-piece wizard ward passive plus 36 physical damage resist rating for 10.4 seconds when receiving physical or kinetic damage, grant plus temporary HP for 10 seconds. So they are really leaning into this fantasy Ren Fair feel.
I have a theory. They did not say it on stream. They did show artwork that was done. There's going to be a billboard somewhere that has like Ren Fair style stuff on it. I think we might have our first rework in a long time of Ryza.
Oh.
I really do think that we are going to see a lot of different costumes there at Ryza being worn, or I just think they're going to throw in a bunch of Ren Fair stuff sitting around Ryza. So
that would be amazing. Like that's going to be my new hangout. Like, and if we can get Ren Fair Space Barbie stuff, oh my god.
Well, they didn't make any promises about anything. They didn't say anything about. The only way I got the date on the June 28th to July 28th is Ambassador Kale on one of the load screens had up. It had the summer event. It said summer event and had the dates. All the rest of the information in that load screen was wrong. It still had all of the current event stuff information in it for the like the rewards and stuff like that. But it had the dates, and I'm like, well, hey, clearly they're working on this, and those are going to be the dates. June 28th looks like it would be a proper time to start it because that's when our current event will end.
Makes sense.
So,
yeah,
technically, the June 28th to July 28th is unconfirmed at this point.
Yeah, and we haven't gotten the blog post on it either, which I was expecting to get it today. So probably get it on Tuesday. If not, they may throw it up on an odd day. Usually they do it on Tuesdays. All right, so that is the end of the announcements. I'm sorry that took like half of our show time. Let's move on to our primary target, and I'm going to go first, and I'm going to go through this kind of quick to get it out there. This is my take on a phaser fire at will build on the Terran Lexington Dreadnought, which I'm using the Odyssey skin for. Just to give you some background information, we did previously cover phasers on episode 45. We went through like where to get the various phasers and the consoles and stuff that boost phasers. So if you want that information, it's episode 45. You can find that on YouTube. Also, we put a disclaimer down. We are not going to go over traits, bridge officers, duty officers, because those won't change just because of the energy type. That's more based on your build. And we typically do deep dives on builds as its own thing. So this is specific to phasers. Moving from left to right, my forward weapons are the phaser wide angle dual heavy beam bank. This is found on the Discovery rep. I've got two sensor linked phaser dual beam banks. These came out of a lockbox. You can find them on the exchange. The final weapon here is the Dark Matter Quantum Torpedo Launcher. I have this equipped for the 3-piece set, which I will cover here shortly. This is also out of the Discovery rep. For my ship equipment, I have the Meta. It's the Elite Fleet Intervention Protomatter Deflector, the Prevailing Innervated Impulse Engines, the Mycelia Harmonic Manti-Antimatter Core, and Tilly's Review Pending Modified Shield. The warp core and the shields come from the Discovery rep, the impulse engines come from the competitive rep, and the deflector is from the fleet. Remind me what that is, Greebog.
Wait, which one?
Colony. Never mind. I had to look
Colony?
It's from
Yeah.
the fleet colony. And then aft weapons. Here again on the Lexington, we have 4 aft weapons left to right. The Trilithium-Enhanced Omni-Directional Phaser Beam Array, I have this for the 2-piece. I have an emitter-linked. Now, ideally, I would want this to be sensor-linked, but I couldn't find one at the time, and the emitter-linked has the same visual. So I have the emitter-linked omnidirectional phaser beam array. I have the advanced inhibiting phaser heavy turret. I'm sorry, let me back up. So the Trilithium-Enhanced, I don't have it on the notes. This comes from an episode. Anybody remember what that is offhand?
Look at the bottom. It might be down there.
Beyond the Nexus.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All the Trilithium stuff comes from Beyond the Nexus, which is a New Frontiers arc.
Right. The emitter-linked or sensor-linked Omni comes from the lockbox or exchange. The
It's actually
advanced,
not too expensive on the exchange either.
there you go. The inhibiting phaser heavy turret comes from Task Force Ordinances. That is a reputation. Which one is that? And then the fourth slot here, I have the Maelstrom Quantum Torpedo. Now, this is one of the newer weapons they've come out with. This is the one that builds up to 3 charges. And then however many charges you have, it will launch. This is the only weapon I do not have on auto fire. I want to control when this goes off. And it can be really powerful if you time it right, especially if you do it with like torpedo spread or high yield. So those are nice. Let's see. I didn't do devices because devices aren't on the build. That's another one that doesn't change. Base set I went over. Consoles. Okay, so I have one actual engineering console. It's this one, Reinforced Armaments. This is part of the Trilithium set. It adds power transfer, hull restoration, and hull capacity as passives. It does not have a clicky. It just gives the set bonus, and I'll go over that in a minute.
That one is also from Beyond the Nexus as well.
Yes, thank you. Which I actually do have. It's New Frontiers Beyond the Nexus. I do not have any specific science consoles. For tactical, I have a bunch of them. I've got 5 of the advanced tactical vulnerability locators. And then I have 1 Lorca's custom fire controls, which I have in here for the 3-piece set. It does have a passive that adds to critical chance, weapon power setting, and shield penetration. It's got a lot of shield penetration. But most people don't use this for the passives. They use it for the 3-piece set, which I will go over shortly. Now, universal consoles take up the rest of my spots. I have Approaching Agony. This comes from the lockbox or exchange, plus 15% phaser and 1.5% crit chance. And then it's got a clicky, which is Approaching Agony. It gives a movement and resistance debuff to your enemies. I have the Domino. The Domino comes from the Bajoran Interceptor, which is in the Phoenix Prize pack. Again, it's got the 15% phaser damage passive, plus 20 accuracy rating, but the big thing here is the clicky. Everybody uses this for the clicky. It gives you a huge boost to damage and haste, so very, very handy if you can have it. I have the Ordnance Accelerator here, which is from the Gamma Rep, and it's just, I have it for the passives. It gives a 26.3 damage boost to projectile weapons and phasers and polarons, which I'm not using, and it gives a mine recharge speed, which I'm also not using. I have the flagship tactical computer. This comes from the Zen store. It's any of the tactical variants that this comes on. So if you're going to buy an Odyssey, Scimitar, or Border Skew, if you get the tactical version, that's what this comes from. It has a flat plus 19% directed energy damage, and then a clicky that again gives you fire cycle haste, along with turn and flight speed. My final 2 here, I've got the Prior's World Elite Defense Satellite. This was an event reward, is now available in Mud's Market. Gives plus 14.3% directed energy damage. But the big thing is the 25% weapon power cost reduction. That's a pretty big boost when you're cycling through a bunch of weapons. And then the last one is the Eject Red Matter. This comes out of Mud's Market. Well, Lockbox or Mud's Market. I got it from Mud's Market. It's the Vulcan Experimental Scout Ship.
passive boost to phaser damage and exotic particle generators, and then you can fire the red matter and create a little black hole and deal damage. The only other thing I have is the Class C shuttlecraft, and I use the elite version from the fleet. At one point in time, this was considered one of the best shuttlecraft that you could get outside of a lockbox. I don't know if that is still the case, but I like them, and they use the same visual as the sensor-linked phasers, so it kind of all matches. For my set bonuses, I've got the Lorca's Ambition 2 set, which is War Discretion, plus crit severity when you get a crit hit. The set 3-piece is called, but that's just the beginning. This is what automatically launches the dark matter torpedoes when an enemy gets to be below 50% hull. It's really nice, and it's got a 1-second cooldown, so you can just like spam torpedoes and you don't even have to do anything. For the Trilithium-laced weaponry, I have the 2-piece called Speed Tweaks. Basically adds flight speed and fire cycling haste. I have the Task Force Ordnances 2-piece, which is called Task Force Tunings. Adds phaser chronoton, polaron damage, and flight turn rate. And then I have, as stated, I have the Tilly's Shield, the Discovery Shield and Warp Core. The 2-piece set is called Stamets Tilly Field Modifications. Nothing is lost forever. Adds 120% hull regeneration. That is my build in a nutshell. Again, if you want more information on where to get these phasers or consoles, go to episode 45.
Oh,
Greebog,
right.
I believe you are up next.
Sure. We'll say I'm next. All right, so I am flying tonight the World Razor Temporal Ops Juggernaut, which it's a lockbox ship. Don't expect people to have it. Yeah. There are some things on this ship that I have jumped on board with, keeping it kind of on theme for the ship itself. But outside of that, this still does some pretty decent damage output. So on the Fore, I'm using a lot of the same things that Nikodas, like the phaser wide angle dual heavy beam bank. Again, comes from Discovery Rep. I, though, am using 3 more Obliviating phaser dual beam banks. This comes from a Safe Galaxy lockbox, which is the same one that the World Razor comes out of. You can buy them off the exchange as well. I wanted to go with that to kind of keep the ship sort of close to theme. Also, the proc is a little nicer than the standard phaser proc. They have a 5% chance to give you plus 30 armor penetration and 100% shield penetration. Though, as with many procs, probably it's not super great. If you want the best of the best, beam arrays crafted with the pen modifier on it would be better than these. But I wanted to keep theme. Dark Matter Quantum Torpedo Launcher, which also comes from Discovery. The space set is identical to what Nikodas is using, so I'm not going to repeat that. It's essentially the meta for the most part. On the aft, I am using also the Trilithium-Enhanced Omni-Directional Phaser Beam Array, which is New Frontiers Beyond the Nexus. I then also have a crafted Omni Phaser, and then I am using the Kinetic Cutting Beam. More because I wanted another 360-degree firing arc on my rear. So, being that this is... I did pay for the experimental upgrade, so I do have a universal trait slot on this. And in that, I have the Light of Civilization here, which is the World Razor console. it is not a terrible console. It gives you current weapon subsystem power, and it increases your crit severity versus foes below 20%. And I like it because its ability that it fires off is a massive, like, it looks like this big red beam cloud thing that goes forward and just does lots of damage. But yeah. I probably wouldn't use it outside of This Is the World Razor. It's just more for, again, fun. So I'm using almost all universal consoles on this ship except for 4 tactical. And so with universal, I have the Domino console, which, Bajoran Interceptor, which was the 8-year anniversary event ship, but what now can be found in the Phoenix prize pack. Then you have I'm using Power Dispersal Channel. This comes from the Jem'Hadar Vanguard warship, which comes from the Zen store for 3K Zen. Then I have the Temporal Trajectory Shifter, which comes from the Narendra Support Cruiser or the Viral Support Battle Cruiser, which is 4K Zen or the 11th Anniversary bundle from their respective legendary variants. Yeah. Then I have, because I since this already has by default, that's something also to note. This ship by default has a on its own. Let's see. That's the latest civilization one. Did I put it? Basically, it has its own phaser lance, and so I then wanted to make it have another phaser lance, and added in the Immolating Phaser Lance console, which comes from the Demos pilot. What pilot destroyer? Let's see, where is it? I'm lost in my own list of stuff. Demos pilot destroyer, yeah, which is an Infinity Lockbox ship. There is a mud bundle with it as well. I am also using a simulated module. This comes from the Terran Task Force Omega rep, or the Task Force Omega rep, not Terran. And that kind of, since I'm already using Kinetic Cutting Beam, I'm using this for part of the set bonus. And then Decentralized Immunity. Again, a lot of this stuff has crit severity, crit chance. This one gives me some shield capacity and more crit severity. And this one, the Decentralized Immunity, comes from Terran Trailblazer Science Warship, which was the 12th Anniversary bundle. And then the last universal console is the M6 computer, which is from the Temporal Escort, which is 75K dilithium. It's a non-tier. It's probably a tier 4 ship, tier 3 ship, somewhere in there. But it's also in the Temporal Starter Pack if you picked that up. Yeah, like I said, a lot of this is giving me cookies for more firing cycle haste, bonus damage. Yeah, and then I have on the tactical side here 2 vulnerability locators, phaser themed, obviously, for more crit chance, and then I have 2 exploiters for more crit severity. This gives me a two-piece Omega adapted tech set bonus, which, if you've looked at this, it's a pretty decent. It's pretty decent. It's not probably meta, but I mean, it is probably one of the easier set bonuses to get a hold of if you don't have a lot of the big cost ones. Because it gives you 2.5% chance when firing energy weapons to gain Omega Weapon Amplifier, which is plus 10 weapon power, plus 500 weapon power, drain resist, and then the big minus 500% weapon power cost. So it means your weapons don't cost you much to fire, and you can fire faster. I don't know that set is honestly worth going for the 3rd. I've never seen a lot of people go for the 3rd piece for the set unless they wanted it for a specific build. I also have the 2-piece for Lorca's Ambition. Or I thought I did. Let's see here. Do I? I should have that. But instead of having Lorca's console to get to it, I have the dual beam bank and the quantum torpedoes. I could probably toss in the console to get more, but I don't know that the 3-piece is technically worth it. But 2-piece gives you the 1% crit severity buff for 20 seconds that can stack up to 25 times. Yeah. That's my ship.
And
Yeah,
if you are on a budget, you can also pick up the Quantum Phase set from Future Proof Sunrise. Quantum Phase, Beam Array, Torpedo, and Converter Universal Console. That is a pretty good budget phaser.
Yeah.
Phaser mission set.
Huh, I'm actually not using that one. Interesting.
Yeah, like, so Future Proof Sunrise has the Quantum Phase set. Let's see. New Frontiers Beyond the Nexus has the Trilithium set. Then there is a New Frontiers Cilia and Barbados, something like that.
Scylla and Charybdis.
What? Okay.
Where were you during Latin? Jesus.
There were no Latin classes, and I didn't pay attention to growing up in Catholic Church to care about Latin.
I actually read the Odyssey, which is, Scylla and Charybdis are the two whirlpools that Odysseus has to go through. So,
but okay, so that mission has the Bajor Defense space set, which the 2-piece gives you more phaser damage. I'm just kind of giving you a quick rundown. There is all kinds of you can craft stuff. Honestly, if you're looking for beam arrays and stuff like that, it is still, from what I've heard, mathed out, the best way to go for if you want the best of the best of the best beam arrays or whatever, like beams and like phaser weapons, you want crafted with the pen modifier on it, because that gives you penetration on shield penetration that is constant. It's not like some proc to get shield pen. Yeah. And from someone
isn't the way to do it to like craft Mark II phasers until you get one with a pen modifier and then like upgrade that one?
Yes. I've been basically on one of my on my main crafting captain. I one day just started going. I just fill up his R&D with crafting all of these beams, and then anytime I get a pen one, I set it aside.
Darth, that would be really cool, and that would go along with what we've seen with the new. I can't think all of a sudden the new weapon that they came up with in the last event, because it's an Omni. It's a set Omni that doesn't take a set Omni spot.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that would be awesome.
That would be cool. Because honestly, then it would let so like my ship, I have 3 aft weapons, and the only way I can get a third Omni type is go with something like kinetic cutting beam or go to a turret. If they took off the restriction, I could have 3 Omnis on the rear, and that would be nice.
Now
there's no reason not to do it, because like cannon ships can have turrets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the turrets aren't restricted, which seems weird, but keep in mind that if you have a ship that can equip mixed armaments synergy, having the different weapon types does help, which is why I have a turret on there. Turret counts as a cannon, so it activates for the cannon, and then the beams obviously in my torpedo. So
something also to note, they did add in new phaser beam arrays with the new addition to the Constitution 3. And these are the narrow angle. Yes, they're angry phaser beam arrays. No, that would be Terran ones.
No, Terrans are agonies.
They're kind of angry too, but the narrow angle phaser beam array, it only has a 210-degree firing arc, and it does more damage, but you are limited to only 2. So
Tabby,
Yes.
did you have a build that you wanted to talk about?
I did not have one prepared, no.
Okay, then shall we run the event?
Sure.
So we can go blow stuff up for a little bit. I am partial to Jupiter or Epiter or Eratus, so but if you guys want to run something else, I'm okay with that. Although if we're gonna do Synthwave, I need to switch ships.
it's fine.
So Jupiter or Borg? What do you want to do? Swarm?
If I was on my KDF tune, I would say we'll do Swarm because he still needs one more Swarm to get the completion for the thing, but we're not. So
We can do that for fun night if you want,
oh, I probably will get it tonight once we're done streaming.
or that. All right, I'm gonna hit Jupiter then. Wee woo,
Wee woo.
Wee woo.
wee woo. Here we go. Oh, really? They don't have any beams on the back of the ship?
The Terrans will be here.
So does it
Engage
all
their
come off
equipment
of the
finally.
saucer then if you're
Whoa.
firing behind you?
That's a little.
I don't have the ship. I will probably never have the ship, so. Let me launch my fighters.
Well, I was like, that made me look at my saucer and whatnot, and I'm like, okay, I do have a beam arc on on the back here. There's some beams, yeah, spots.
The red-skinned Audi is kind of cool. I would like to know what vanity shield that is.
Maybe they just painted it red.
All ships, battle stations.
That could be too.
A welcoming committee. You shouldn't have. We're just here for your data. Hand
All right,
it
here
over
we go.
and nobody will get hurt.
Time to blow
That's
stuff up.
All ships, engage the Terran fleet.
Oh wow, stuff's dying really fast. We have some geared people in here. I wouldn't know anything about who those might be.
This isn't over.
I mean, this is
Admiral.
just a
Believe
regular,
that.
not a. Oh, hey, I guess I'll go to Gamma since I'm right here.
Some ships and take her down. The rest of you, stay
I'm
I
at
wanna make
beta,
sure
so
This isn't
I
over.
want to make sure the middle's covered, so I'm going to go there.
I'm picking up more
There's
ships
nobody
through the
at
rings.
Alpha, though,
Close
so we
if
can
you
keep an eye on that, too.
Activate the holo projectors. Let's hope they get the job done. Defend the holo projectors as best you can.
Okay, I'm going to type something. This does not apply to you guys.
I feel so,
Those rifts aren't going to close themselves.
so told what to do.
Well, you know how people are in this game. It does happen sometimes. There we go. Now we've got people over there.
See, if people came to the show wanting me to pronounce things properly, they came to the wrong place.
Wait until we
Need
get
to
into
get
some of those
rifts under control.
alien names. So I am so making a character just to be a Ren Fair guy. I
Hysperion?
just think- yeah, Hysperion, however you say it. I'm gonna sink into that fully and fly the new ship on that character.
At
yeah, I'm
first-
absolutely probably gonna repurpose one of my characters to be 100, like dig 100% into it.
You know, I thought about doing that too, but the way I have it set up, like my Cardassian is my
We've got
character on the
hostiles
Fed
the
side
station.
that uses
They're breaching our
disruptors.
systems.
And on the KDF side, it's my main character, and neither one of them are human. I mean,
Oh, I'm about to die.
don't die. Where are you at?
Beta.
Beta.
I am coming.
Clark would go help you.
Rifts aren't going to
I
close
closed it
themselves.
before I died, though. Nope, I'm at 18%. I'm gonna live.
You're welcome. So I thought about repurposing one and changing things up, but then I decided that I'm just going to make a new character. I haven't done that for a really long time. So,
See, I've been debating various things because, I mean, if I want to be the meta captain trying to push numbers and whatnot, I have to create a new alien that,
Those rifts aren't going
yeah.
to close themselves.
a new alien that's a captain, a tactical captain.
you can do that.
I was like, I don't even have to now anymore make sure to go with the.
We've got
Have a good night,
hostiles on the
Darth
station.
Dragon.
They're breaching our systems.
I was like, even now since they opened up, who can have you know the superior Romulan
The
operatives.
SROs.
Yeah. Now that that's opened up, you don't even have to stay as a Romulan alien.
I'm not even using that on
We've
most
got
of my
hostiles
characters.
on
I
the
went
station.
with
They're
the
breaching our
other
Watchers?
operatives, the Watchers,
Watchers are supposed to be good.
and they're cheaper. I mean, arguably.
Terrans
See,
now
the
control
thing is
protective
I don't
bases.
have any. Okay, I do have one alien that is a tactical bridge officer or tactical captain,
Lock down the
and he's on my free
Now
account.
they're ours for good.
You still here,
All
Grandma?
right, here we go.
Ugh, I thought our Janeway was annoying. Speaking of annoying, did you like the little back door I put in your station?
Enterprise is back near
Watch out
protector
for
base.
the feedback.
Oh, if there's feedback, I'm dead.
Vessels are negating your attacks on the Enterprise. Take them out first.
Don't even try
Wow,
to catch me.
we ate through her like you would not believe. That was impressive. Even for being on normal, that was impressive.
The Enterprise is going for Projector Alpha.
Here we go. Round 2.
Fight.
Finish him. Oh, sorry, I had to. Sometimes these guys will use a feedback pulse, and it really, really hurts.
Not as bad as when the Queen does it in that one TFO.
Oh, the queen is just obnoxious.
Because when she does it, I just die. It said.
Enterprise is near Projector Gamma.
Round 3. Kaboom. Overshot. Oops. Oh, that hurt my DPS.
Be seeing you.
Are you gone now,
Well
Tilly?
done.
Thank you.
We-
Yes, Ellie is gone now. Marks.
141 fleet marks without the boost. That's interesting.
I must have a boost.
Well, I did this earlier in the day, so that's why I did get a boost.
I got a 196 fleet marks.
Nice.
So I was like, I must have a boost because, wow.
All right, so that's gonna do it for me, guys.
Right on, right on.
Greebog, do we need to talk about the fleet at all before we leave?
We have a fleet. People are welcome to join.
It is doing well. It is a good fleet. It is a shiny fleet. We love our fleet.
We're pretty much maxed out.
The Fed side, we are pretty much maxed out. We are closing in. So I believe, let's see, we're 10,000 away from having the, well, technically 9,500 away from having the morale tier done. And then we're a little bit further out, 2,600 or 26,000 away from the infrastructure being done. but the rest of our holdings are maxed out. So KDF side is a different story. Though I do have a plan. People probably on the KDF side have noticed it. I am pushing a lot of our smaller holdings, so like the Spire Research Lab and stuff like that, to tier 1. I want us to get to tier 1 so we can start provision projects. So that way, if we have friends in other fleets, we can get fleet invites to their places and then be able to purchase the goodies that they have unlocked. So that way, our because we have, I know many of us have friends that are in a fleet that is maxed out on KDF side that we could easily do that. We just need the provisions in our fleet to be able to allow us to purchase. But yeah, so the dilithium mine is done. So we have the biggest discount dilithium wise. Yeah. That was my very first goal. Cut down our dilithium costs. Outside of that, I'm trying to think. We're what? I think we're closing in on tier 3 on the starbase. Which
on
is
the KDF side?
yeah,
Probably.
which is
I'm over
impressive.
there.
So fleet's doing well, I would say.
And you guys mentioned we're recruiting. We're always recruiting. We don't put limits. Like, you don't have to be with us for a certain amount of time for us to grant you access to the fleet provisions. You have it right away as soon as you join. We don't kick people for lack of playtime. You can come and go as you see fit. We're pretty open.
We also don't require people to don't give a key a month or whatever. I know there are some fleets that
good lord, really?
Yeah, there are some fleets that you have to drop a key to 2 keys or whatever. I know there. I've heard of 1 key and 2 keys monthly that you have to pay to the fleet, and they turn around and use it for They do turn around and use it and give for giveaways. Like I think they do like a monthly giveaway, but even still, I don't know. Whatever.
Even if I wanted to do something like that, I would make it optional, almost like a raffle, right? Like, if you want to pitch in and be part of the raffle, you can, but it's not a requirement. I would do it that way. If I was even going to do that.
That would probably be the method I would take. It's an optional. If you want to donate to the fleet, I will keep track of keys. And like we would have officers with a spreadsheet that would keep track of number of entrants, and then once we get X number donated, we end up giving away the keys to, like, we'll do a random number generator and give it away.
Or open some boxes and give prize. Yeah, we could do something. Anyway, that's all down the road because we're not worried about that right now. We want to focus on the KDF fleet and max it out and go from there. So. Alrighty, well, I am going to bail, guys, so I will say my usual farewell. See you out there.
Have a good one, Nikodas.
Bye, Nikodas.
Have anything
Have
else?
fun, be safe, and don't set yourselves on fire.
And hold on, we will also be right back for giving we'll raid somebody. Find somebody to raid, but for now, live long and prosper, everybody, and we'll be right